Still can't hear it.
I hear you.
I have no sound.
No sound.
No sound. Okay, stand by. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I'm going to pause this for a sec. Thanks a lot, Be Live. You're a wonderful piece of crap. But anyway, so hold on, guys. We're going to start this all over again. See if anybody pops up in the room, guys, while I look for the video.
Odie showed up.
Okay, stand by, guys. We will go live in a sec as soon as I find. Damn, here it is. Let's see if we can try this again and see what happens. Right there. Those of you that are joining us right now, please bear with us as we correct our technical difficulties. You guys know how that always happens. And there's my video there. Scroll down here. A lot of moving, working parts. So let's.
Okay, watch party started.
Yep, good. Stand by, stand by, stand by. I need to drop stuff. Let's see, hide that. Hide you. Hide you. You guys know what they all look like. I think Terry popped in. I see Cheryl as well. Let's go back and let's go for an official opening. Make sure you guys hear it. Let me know if you hear it. Put it that way. Stand by. Here we go. Can you hear it, guys? Yes or no? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Really? Okay, Kartoon Krew, if you can hear this, let me know. Terry says he can hear it. Visuals and audio. Okay, Cheryl, I got you. Okay, guys, I wanted at the end. Let me know if you can hear me. With our co-host here, welcome to Saturday Morning Cartoons with our co-host here. I'm going to introduce Jerome Connor because the other person is irrelevant.
Thank you so much, Mark.
You know, that's okay. But you seem to want to really, yes, I know there was no sound on the video, and I know that was posted 20 seconds ago, at least by Cheryl. But just let me know, guys, if you can hear us. I'll wait for your comments to come back in. Just let us know if you can hear us.
Odie says she can hear us.
Okay, cool. Beans. Once again, this is Saturday Morning Cartoons, along with our lovely host, Jerome Connor, and our lovely host, Jerome Connor. So just want pretty good, Jerome. I think you ought to shave, though.
I think my name's Jerome today, so.
Well,
no, I think Gwen says she likes it and wants me to keep it because I look like Santa Claus.
Okay, that's good. You do
that.
7-year-old
and Santa Claus. You kind of got to go with that.
Yeah, I think it's more interesting to discuss than the crap we got to discuss this morning. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, Rose.
Hey.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me put Rose up here, my lovely lady here. Hi, Rose.
How are you? How is everybody today?
So obviously you had a conniption. Must have been like a stroke in bed or something like that. Because every time you seem to want to piss me off is you would pick something that would in fact piss me off. And I know in all honesty that you thought really deeply about the show you wanted to do for today. Yes. And I don't think that this was your first choice. I think this was your last choice. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know what I'm talking about, This young lady here, I have no idea why she is here, but she decided that she wanted to touch on another Saturday morning cartoon back in the days when we were young, and the show was called Archie. Okay, I'm not sure why we are doing this morning, but we are. Let me tell you a little bit of history about the preparation of this show. Typically, when
Here we
I do
go.
a show, that's right, get ready for it. Put on your helmets, put on your armor. When Jerome does a show, he sends me no more than 10 video options for me to find. Okay. When I do a show, I kind of limit it to maybe, 10 video options. That would bring us to a little over an hour, maybe 90 minutes. Okay. So 10 video options, 10 suggestions, 10 planned segments of these shows. Jerome and I intelligently have figured in the course of doing these shows that would work. It's not like this isn't our first freaking show. Okay. It's not like we haven't done this before. Okay. So when Rose says, "Hey, I want to do the Archies," and I'm like, "Yo, what? Yeah, Hold on, I'm trying to get us all back up on the screen. I can't do it. I see. Maybe this will do it. No, that didn't do it.
It was all that beer you drank last night.
Yeah, it probably was, but either way, when Rose decided that she wanted to go ahead and do a show on the Archies, I kind of, it wasn't my favorite show back then. It really wasn't. It's kind of goofy and whatever. All right, bottom line, she sent me 18 videos. 18.
I applaud you, Rose, for your thoroughness. Okay.
It was the complete package. But Mark, I gave it to Mark early. I was like so hyped. I gave it to him early. I got it to him by like Monday.
What the hell does early have to do with 18 videos?
But then okay, so then like Thursday night I get like this ultimatum from him, saying, "Cut it down to 9, girl."
Oh, and that made you go into Sonic the Hedgehog role? I mean, 18. And so look,
she cut them down. I saw the list. She cut them down.
And as the working in solidarity with the team. Okay, I am a team player. Okay, I proceeded to go and download 18 videos. 4 of them took overnight. I don't know why. I didn't pick the videos, but I went to bed, left the computer on. Okay, and
But now, Mark, we're all set for part 2 of the Archie show.
Well, you know what? We don't usually even think about a part 2 after we're done with part 1.
Well, now we do. Now this one we can do part 1 and part 2.
Well, it's like we jumped into the future or some stupid crap like that. Girl,
Odie asked the question. She said, "Do I watch Riverdale?" And the answer is yes, I do.
No, I think Deanna asked that question. Who asked that question?
Oh, Deanna asked that question.
Yeah.
Deanna, yes, I do watch. I do watch Riverdale.
Yeah, well, personally, it's a dumb question. Okay, I mean, aren't you following us here, Deanna, right now? I mean, this is like, all right, this is the World of Archie. This is Rose's show. Somebody may have to, poke me a couple times to see if I'm still awake.
No. We have a solution.
We do?
Yes.
Suicide.
Whenever you're becoming a problem, Rose is going to grab her cat and put it right in front of the camera just to scare you, kind of like the
money.
She's
actually right here, right now, right beside me. And there's another one behind me. I've got 2 in here today.
See, she's getting all the way around, Mark. You're really going to suffer.
You guys can. All right, let's get this over with. For God's sake.
Okay. All right. Let me do my thing here and hope I don't crash today.
Are we done yet?
So here I chose Archie because when I was young, we didn't have cable television, and no cordless phones, no internet. What we had was comic books, and when I would go to the store, if it was a convenience store or anything, they had these racks of comics. And the comics that caught my eye were these bright colored comics that were Archie comics. And there was all different kinds. They had so many different titles, and I would buy them up and beg my parents to pay for them, along with my bunch of candy bars and my blue knee high. And I take them home and read them. And I really enjoyed the story of just these teenage kids and their lives in Riverdale. And it just, I don't know why, but I really had a hold on me from the beginning. I don't know what I saw first, the cartoon or the comics, but it was both around the same time. I was very young, and so today, even today, I still follow. I watch Riverdale, even though Riverdale is nothing like the Archies that I grew up watching. I consider it like an alternate universe type of Archie. It's very dark and very, very strange and kind of kooky at times. But I do watch it, and I've watched actually almost every single Archie that's been out on television. So today I wanted to take some time and highlight some of the episodes or the TV series, because it's got a very long track record. The first show was actually the Archie show, and it came out in 1968 on CBS. It was show. It was created by Filmation, and it was aired on Saturday mornings on CBS. And basically, it was like two short stories and then a bumper in the middle. Usually, they would teach dance moves, and they would have a music video in between the stories. And the first video I wanted to roll was the dance moves clip, because this is just something you don't see on TV with cartoons at all anymore. So we're going to run that clip, Mark.
Let's hope we have sound.
I will never comment on the fact that white people can't dance, but after you see this clip, you tell me.
Yeah,
oh, wait a minute. Is that the right one?
That is the opening. That is the opening. I have no. We have no sound.
We have no sound, and you got to get about 9 minutes into it where she wants to go.
Yeah, 9:09.
Yeah, I know about the 9:09 part, but I'm more concerned about the no sound part, and I don't know why that's happening. I'm pulling out my headphones here for a sec. I don't know if that'll.
While he's working on that, let me just give you a little bit of the background for the comic books. The initial Archer characters were created in 1941 by John Goldwater and Bob Montana. And they first appeared in Pep Comics number 22.
Yep.
And the first actual characters were Archie and Betty and Jughead. Veronica and Reggie didn't come along until the following year. They were developed as aside from the Andy Hardy movies. And I don't know if you all are familiar with that. Those are Mickey Rooney when he was a young man, a young boy. He had a series of films where he was just like an average guy. Did you see any of the? I never really watched them.
Oh yeah. Watched a lot of them because they were on a lot of UHF channels up here.
But was Judy Garland in some of those with him?
No, but there was a whole series of the two of them together.
Okay, so that's that. But it was around the same time, right?
Yeah, about there. I think right after the Andy Hardy films went, they decided that Mickey Rooney was, even though he was becoming more older, getting into his 20s. That they wanted to keep doing that image because, I mean, heck, right up until the day he died, he looked like he was a teenager practically. He had that Dick Clark gene going.
Right.
And they did the Judy Garland things, did tons of those movies. There was one of my favorites was when he was doing something with the bands, because it was really good, big band.
All right, let's try this, guys, and see if we got some sound.
Right.
I can hear sound on my end, and I don't know why it's not playing sound on your end, but let's keep our fingers crossed.
All righty.
And now, a brand new dance to watch and learn. The banana split.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Do the banana split.
Can you imagine kids in front of TV doing that?
Oh yes, I can. I can see my daughter doing this, 7-year-old.
Partners, don't you fail. Now split.
Not at my prom. Not at my prom. Oh my God! What the hell was that?
Those were dance moves, like you had you had bandstand going on at the time.
That was exactly it. The bandstand was right in the middle of its height at this point. Okay, and they were cashing in on music.
There are certain things you should never do in animation, and one is dancing. Okay. I don't know. And back during that time, it wasn't even motion control systems developed yet. I don't get it.
So I'd like to add a little thing about Archies here, because this is up here in New England. There's a town called Haverhill. It's about 30-minute drive north of where I live. My brother lives there, and I lived there at one point. And that was the basis for Riverdale.
Really?
Yes, because Goodwin is from Haverhill.
And you're proud of that, I see.
You know what? Archie Comics has been around since the 1930s. The influence of those characters on the country just cannot be measured. It really is populated throughout the whole culture of our country. And
okay, Rose, you're still back up. Stop hijacking the show.
Sorry.
Well, no, I appreciate the input. Cheryl had made a comment that you put on the screen a few minutes ago about having paper dolls. And I believe I did too. You know what? I miss paper dolls. I loved playing with those when I was younger. It's just one of those things that kind of like faded away, over the years. But I think you can still buy some. But
yes, you can.
Back then you could go out and buy books of like whatever show you kind of wanted and put little skirts on and dress them all up. It was fun.
Sage said something interesting here. I want you to notice that.
Oh, I missed her comment there. The pencil skirt is not that stretchy.
I wouldn't know. I don't think Mark, would you know?
Dude, I'm just trying to get through the morning. Okay.
Well, the show the show became very popular. And as you'll see, it left in various incarnations for throughout the 70s. And one of the things that I came across while I was doing this research was a post cereal commercial for Archie stuff inside the box, and I thought it was so cool. And I want you guys, Kartoon Krew, I want you to watch the commercial and then tell me what you would have liked to have had out of that cereal box. Which cereal box toy you would have liked?
Salmonella. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man.
Wait a minute.
Honeycomb's got a free
Uh-oh, are we stuck?
No, I can hear it. I can see it.
Okay.
In alphabet, you get a free Archie card. Yes, the Archie garage. On Super Sugar Crisp, get a free Archie record. In Crispy Critters and Rice Sprinkles, you get free Archie rub-ons. Whenever you see all these post cereals, you know everything's Archie. The Archies is my favorite group. And on Super Sugar Crisp, you get an Archie record. Free, free, free. Right on the box.
I love that bear.
Come to the Sugar Bear record, huh?
Oh my God.
Different Archie records.
Oh.
Dance too.
Oh, stab me. Kill me.
You gotta love those outfits.
They're
I
kids.
wore those outfits.
Super Sugar Crisp.
Yeah, I don't expect the kids to have any style, but that's okay. Pretty good. That's pretty good.
I love those records. I think I floated one of those floating around somewhere in a box somewhere around here.
While I was doing my research, I found this guy who actually had some of the records, and he was playing them on his record player, and the sound quality's not bad on those for a piece of cardboard.
Yeah.
I remember those records on the cereal box and me peeling it off too. I don't know what record I had, but I remember doing that on something.
It's just fascinating to me what they came up with back then. You wouldn't find that kind of thing now on.
No. No, what they do know is because this happened during the first Star Trek movie is you send in X number of box tops and then they send you a flash drive.
Ooh.
Really? Yeah. I did not know that.
Yeah, they did that for the Star Trek. I don't know if they're still doing that for other ones. Yes, Sage is right. They did that in Mad Magazine, but they also did it on a number of cereal boxes, Sage.
Yep, I remember
Captain Crunch. I remember Captain Crunch did a horror one for Halloween.
And they weren't plastic. They were thin cardboard or something.
What they were was they were a cardboard, but they had a plastic layover. and you cut along the edge, so you didn't cut the plastic. You cut along the dotted lines.
Yeah, I don't remember that one, but okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You want to know how I got my record collection started?
Not really. Go ahead, Rose.
So, well, the show, it was very popular, but they decided the following year to make it an hour-long show. And it was called the Archie Comedy Hour. And in that hour, they introduced a character by the name of Sabrina.
Mm-hmm.
And Sabrina was teenage witch. And she started out in Archie comics as well. Actually, I think it was in the 1960s. I don't have the exact year that she came out, but it was like, I think around 1963 she was introduced, and so they decided they were going to incorporate her into the cartoon. It became an hour-long show, and it was at this time that their most popular song, which is still heard on the radio today, came out.
I love this song.
And that is Sugar Sugar, which we're going to play. I don't think we're going to play the whole song, but we'll just play a portion of it. Because we can't have an Archie show without Sugar Sugar.
Correctamundo, lady.
I love this song.
Is that it?
Nope.
The world needs more witches.
Is the Archie gang ready for Sabrina, the teenage witch?
Yes.
See what happens when Sabrina practices the art of witchcraft on the Archie Comedy Hour.
Nope, that's not Sugar
Well,
Sugar.
that was the promo for Archie Comedy Hour.
Well, that's on your list.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I had dumped that one. So
Yep.
maybe
Archie's Fun House is what's next, but it doesn't have a number to it, but I do have it ready.
Oh, okay. I see that. All right. So I guess that I gave you the wrong clip. And
no. There's a clip in there. Which list are you coming off of, Mark?
No, she gave me an updated list, so I know I'm on the right list.
All right, I saw the updated list too, and Sugar Sugar's in there.
Okay, don't don't leap
the thing
ahead.
is, I thought I had like checked all these before I went through it, but that's okay.
I'm going right down the list, guys. Okay.
I'm going to go look at that list because that was a good list.
All right. So anyway, next one I have here, Rose, is your Funhouse one.
Okay, so let me talk about Archie's Funhouse then.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so after the following year, they decided to do a different kind of opening for Archie's Funhouse.
Right.
This one incorporated like a live. They had like a live audience with the cartoons like on the stage, and I thought I remember this opening as a kid. It might have been one of the first ones I actually watched. So let's go ahead and run that one.
It's Archie's Funhouse.
Come on in, we got jokes to tell ya.
It's Archie's Funhouse.
We got jokes, we got songs. Got all folks, sing along. Come on in, we got story to tell ya.
Archie's Funhouse.
She's giant, she's gonna make you dance and play your head. Come on, clap your hands. Come on, clap your hands. Come on in, we got song to sing ya. Archie's Funhouse.
Okay.
Hang on a
So
minute,
that's
Mark.
Archie's Funhouse.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was 18 minutes worth. What's that, Jerome?
I'm sending you the Sugar Sugar link.
I already got it, Jerome. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
I'm gonna medicate that boy someday.
No way. That's a great song. There's a story
got-
to that song.
Yeah, it's just that it's like quintessential Archie to have that.
It's quintessential 60s, man. You talk about the space program and always they play Sugar Sugar.
Here on.
Okay, I'm gearing up your next one. So keep going, Rose. It's your show, baby.
Okay. Alrighty. So that lasted like a year. All these shows for a while, what they would do is they'd show the series, and then the next year they'd show the reruns of the series as if it was like a new show. But they did something really interesting down the line, which was called the Archies TV Funnies, which was a totally different format. from the Archies that they had originally shown. In this one, Archie and the gang, they're running a TV station. And a lot of the clips that they run are from comic strips. Like they had Nancy, and they had. Does anybody remember Nancy?
Oh yeah,
No.
Nancy and Sluggo.
And Dick Tracy.
Oh, that Nancy and Sluggo, yeah.
Yeah. The Nancy with the black hair with the bow.
Girl,
You know, I haven't seen her in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And they also had. It was like there was like a big list of the cartoons that they did, the comic strips, and they would show these cartoons as if they were like TV shows in a TV show realm. And I think that we should have the clip for Dick Tracy.
That's not the first one. I don't think that's.
But the Archie's TV Funnies, I think we have the opening, and then I have the Dick Tracy clip.
That is correct. All right, stand by, and I'll plug that in for you.
Thank you so much.
Here on Odyssey. You had a good time, TV Funnies. We sure did. TV Funnies. There's a lot more laughs. TV Funnies. And a lot more fun. Archie's TV Funnies. Next week.
Oh, that's the end.
Hey, but you notice who the producers were on that. That was Lou Scheimer.
Yeah, Southern.
Filmation.
House Southern, yeah.
And that show actually that one debuted in 1971. That's the year I was born. So they just recycled these shows over and over again throughout the 1970s. But okay, I have a list of the comic strips they featured in that show.
Oh, cool.
It was Dick Tracy, The Captain and the Kids.
Yep.
Emmy Lou, which I don't know what that is. Nancy, The Dropouts, Moon Mullins, Smokey Stover, and Broomhilda.
I know Broomhilda
for a long time.
Yeah, I know Broomhilda and I know Moon Mullins. Back in the day.
The format of that show did not go well, and it only lasted a few episodes, at 13 actually. But like I said, I think a lot of this they operated wrong.
Well, I have a feeling that some of those also probably had something to do with the rights to some of those shows because
makes sense.
You know, if the owners of those rights were not happy with it, I bet you they had an escape clause.
Yeah, we're gonna lose Rose in a little bit. She's breaking up. Rose, you still there and fine? Yeah. Yeah.
I'm still on.
No, you're frozen.
You're frozen and you're turning green every so often.
Yeah.
How now?
Yeah. So pop out and come back in.
Hello?
Yeah, pop out. Yeah, I agree with Mark.
Okay, wait. I pop out.
Well, don't talk. Pop out and come back in.
So
here you go. Go ahead.
Yeah, one of the things that's interesting about Archie is that it was basically there was a lot of aspects to Archie that it was a reaction that why it kept showing up in the Saturday mornings was it was a reaction to quote violence on cartoons. If you notice that it was always there whenever people would start complaining about how violent cartoons were. When you had problems with the superheroes, Archie showed up. When you had problems, you notice 71. Now, what it was popular? We had Scooby and those types of shows. So because those were scary shows for kids. So what do? We brought in Archie.
Right.
I mean, that may not have been, the direct reasoning, but subconsciously you could see that that's part of why they were doing that.
Yeah, I think with the change in the decades, shall I say, people tend to want to fall back to the Beaver Cleaver type neighborhoods and type father knows best style kind of writing. And even though this was wrapped around a band, they were a group of friends who basically had their own band, they still kind of want to stay in that kind of sugar and spice and everything nice kind of scenario.
white picket fence, middle
Yeah.
America, that whole aspect of what they were looking for. And if you notice, Archie is pretty much that mid-America, middle class lifestyle.
Right.
While we're waiting, do you want to run that Sugar Sugar song?
Yeah, I gotta gear it up. It takes a while for me to do stuff like this.
Right.
So,
There's a background story while you're gearing that up. Let me talk to you about briefly. It was done by some studio musicians. They were handed the music and the lyrics, and it took them about a day to do, and that's it. They didn't have any rehearsal, so there was very few takes on it. The problem was they were all required to sign non-disclosure terms on that.
sorry, Jerome, that's my bad.
That's okay.
I got so many buttons I gotta press. Go ahead.
Yeah, they were required to sign non-disclosure forms. So
Right.
nobody knew who really did it until the late 1980s, when the guy who sang it, the lead singer, basically was dying of cancer and said "F you" to that non-disclosure form. He looked at them and said, basically, "What are you going to do to me? That's not being done to me already." And he did a couple of interviews explaining how it was done, what happened, and everything else. And he felt right up to the day he died, he felt that they kind of got gypped because of how popular that song was. They didn't get any royalties because they were studio musicians. But this song was such a hit that, like, if you go watch like From the Earth to the Moon or anything that deals with the technology or excitement of the 1960s, a lot of this song always shows up as part of the early 60s.
Yeah, bear with me, buddy. I am going through some conniptions here.
It wouldn't be our show without it happening.
Yes, and Rose is still trying. I'm seeing in my lobby that she's trying to pop in.
I think she's probably gonna have to go with her cell phone.
Yeah, I don't think I got her at all. In fact, I got her.
Hello? Hi.
Yeah, we don't see you at all, Rose. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can see you. I see myself on the screen too.
Yeah, I can see her, but you're jerky is what it's coming down to.
Oh, really? I don't see her at all.
Yeah, I do. I see her.
That's weird. Okay, well, I don't need to see her, but
Oh, that's harsh.
now I'm trying to, but something has happened. I may have to pop out myself.
Okay.
Because I can't access.
It says I'm live now. Hear me?
Yeah, hold on. I said I can't.
Like right now, you were frozen up there for a second.
Yeah, stand by, guys. I may have to pop out. You guys keep talking. I'm gonna have to pop out and come back.
So, Rose, what you missed was I was telling the story behind the scenes of the Sugar Sugar song, about how they had to they were studio musicians and they had to sign non-disclosure forms. And basically the lead singer was dying of cancer and basically said, "Screw it, I'm going to tell the story." And I can't hear you.
Absolutely. They should get the credit. They should get the credit for something that was
They should have gotten some
still
money.
part of culture today.
They should have gotten some money. They got no money.
Yeah, back then you hear a lot of stories about how. Yeah, you hear a lot of stories about how people got screwed over, with royalties and everything else.
Yeah, and that song. I mean, it would have been one thing if the song had died. Okay, but that song has. I mean, here we are, 50 years later, and people love that song.
It's just it just makes you feel good. It's a feel good
song. It's a catchy tune. I mean, it's an earworm, but you also find yourself singing along with it. The words are not difficult.
No, that's true.
But I mean, when it comes on the radio and you're in your car, you find yourself either humming along or singing along with it. I mean, and that's the thing. And it was a huge hit.
They had another minor hit called Jingle Jangle, which sometimes you can hear on the 70s at 7 on XM radio.
Yeah, that song actually, Jingle Jangle, came out before Sugar Sugar. And I think that's why they did Sugar Sugar, was because they said, well, that first one did okay. Maybe we can make some more money off of it.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that was the first one.
Yeah. So in fact, let me go look and see what the dates were on that, because like I said, it was very popular. They did a number of things here. Where was that here? Oh, no, not there. Yeah, I'm in the middle of doing half a dozen bits of research. I meant to do more research to supplement, because I really liked your choice today, unlike our host.
Well, Garrett was really happy about it too. In fact, he mentioned doing this show, and he didn't know that we were planning on doing this show. So that's cool. But I guess while we're waiting for Mark to come back, a lot of people. I don't know if a lot of people watch Riverdale. I watch Riverdale, and it is very different from the comics. In fact, it's like really a totally different story, except that they have the same characters.
Right.
But it's interesting how they use the Archie lore in their stories. Am I
What you're doing is you're cutting in and out, like you're freezing. Like right now, you're frozen. And earlier, you were looking like you were dubbed over. Okay.
Hey, you guys
Rose
hear
is
me?
out of sync, but yes, I can hear you.
Okay, let's stop
Rose
for a
is
sec.
frozen up.
Yeah, that's okay. Let's stop for a sec. Try to get our minds off of tech difficulties for a while here and watch what we were trying to get the last time, which is this one.
Okay.
Let's see if I can stand by, guys. Trying to work the problem.
Booth while we're singing, Sabrina. Okay, everybody, here we go with our new hit record, Sugar, Sugar. Sugar, honey, honey.
I gotta freeze this. Can you hear me, Jerome? Jerome? Am I the only one on? I can't hear you, Jerome, if you're talking.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
No,
I wanted to point
I
out,
could.
hold on.
Yeah, I'm
I
talking.
wanted to point
Okay.
out that this is the sexiest dance in all of creation. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
You are my girl, and you got me wanting you, honey. Oh, sugar, sugar. You are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. I just can't believe the loveliness of loving you. I just can't believe it's true. I just can't believe the wonder of this feeling too. I just can't believe it's true. Ah, sugar. Honey, honey. You are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. Oh, honey. Oh, sugar, sugar. You are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. When I kissed you, girl, I knew how sweet a kiss could be. I know how sweet a kiss can be. Like the summer sunshine, pour your sweetness over me. Pour your sweetness over me. Oh, sugar, sugar on it, honey. Pour little sugar on it, baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pour little sugar on it. Oh, yeah. Pour little sugar on it, honey. Pour little sugar on it, baby. You are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. Oh, honey,
Yeah, well, that looked like it worked,
Okay.
huh? Okay.
Okay. Well, I couldn't see it on my screen, but I could see it on my watch party.
You didn't have it on your screen? That's weird.
No,
Yeah. Okay,
but I could
let's
see
go
it on my
ahead
watch party.
and okay.
I'd like to
Whoop,
answer,
stop,
I'd like to
stop,
answer
stop.
David's question.
Go ahead. Oh, we can't hear you.
Okay. So asked, was Josie and the Pussycats a response? All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Hello?
What are you doing?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay, there you go. All right. I have no idea. I'm just talking. Okay. David asked, was Josie in response to the Archies? Sort of. Okay. As you heard with Sugar Sugar, it was the #1 song of 1969. It was that popular. And they wanted to try to capture lightning in a bottle again. And they tried making a band TV show called The Mysterious Five in 1969. What do you think that was originally became known as?
I don't know what. Jackson
Mark?
5.
That became Scooby Doo, the Mysterious Five. It was supposed to be a band. Well, and it didn't work. So they went back to Archie and they said, "We need to use the rest of your characters." And one of the characters in the comics was Josie. And so they became in '71. They did Josie and the Pussycats, which was basically a band doing the Scooby Doo thing. So that's what that answers your question there. Ron.
Okay, let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room, basically, and it's without technical difficulties. I want to make everyone aware that I was contacted by our platform organization saying that they have done some improvements to this system. Yes, and I actually ran a test last night. It's the reason why I did a show last night, were to test these so-called improvements. And since I have the most incredible spidey sense in the entire world, I knew this was going to fail. Lo and behold, we have had worse technical difficulties today than we've had in past times. So this is a direct result of Be Live trying to fix something that wasn't broke. So this is what they did, and this is the result of it. We've lost Rose, and hopefully she'll. I know she's trying to get back on frantically. Oh, she said, "Hey, look who's back! Hold on, 210. Rose,
Hello.
can
Can
you
you
hear
hear me
her?
now?
I can hear her, but I can't see her, and I can't see you, Mark.
Oh,
I
really?
can,
Yeah.
and I can see everybody. I can
Yeah,
see
Jerome,
everybody.
just leave and come back, Jerome. Just leave and come back.
Yeah,
And
I'm going to do that. I'll be right.
anyway, so this is what has been happening as Rose is trying to put on a good show. The fact that I didn't want to do an Archie show in the first place, this is karma, baby. I am such a huge fan of karma, and I knew that if I didn't like it, it was going to screw up. All right, we got Jerome back. So
And you know what? I have not shown
hold
any
on for a sec. Can you hear
lines
and
at
see us
all.
now, Jerome?
Jerome.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Yay. Okay, now Rose is back to you, and your next clip is going to be based on the new Archies. Just kind of putting you back on track.
Well, we don't have US of Archie.
Rose?
She wanted to know if we have US of Archie.
US of Archie.
Oh my God.
You
All
can't
right.
see me? I see everybody.
I can see her. I can see
Yeah,
and
we
hear her.
can see her. We just can't hear her now.
I can hear her.
Oh, you can hear her?
Yes.
Okay, everybody in the Cartoon
Rose wants
Krew.
to know
Hold
about
on,
you.
Jerome,
Okay.
stop. Everyone in the Cartoon Krew room, if you can hear Rose, please signal. Rose, if you can go ahead and continue with the broadcast, it's not important that I don't hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, if you can hear me, let me know, because I was asking about US of Archie, because that was actually the next clip.
She's asking
that I
about
wanted
US
to
of
show.
Archie, Mark.
The next one on her list
Yeah,
is,
US of Archie.
excuse me
US
for a sec. Oh, my bad. It is US of Archie.
Yes, it is. There you go, Mark. Rose.
Stand by.
He's
Let me
digging
see
it
if
up.
I have that.
I guess I'm going to have to be the interpreter, Mark.
Yeah, for now. But I am pulling up US of Archie. Aren't we having such a fun time here, guys? I hope you are enjoying this on the Archies. But like I said, this is karma, baby. Okay. I wanted to do superheroes in underwear or something like that, you know. But no.
David,
No.
the answer to your question is it's coming up.
Yes.
Okay.
And while that's playing, I'm going to bug out and come back in myself. So let me find it. Guys, stand by. I'm about 2 seconds ahead of you here.
Okay, so while we're waiting for him to cue that up, Rose, is there anything you want to talk about with US of Archie?
Well, yeah. It aired on September 7th, 1974 to 1976, and it wanted to take the bicentennial was a big deal, and the show was basically developed for that. It was stories about the American history and Archie mixed together with music, and some of those episodes are like they still play them today on a different show.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So funny. I can't hear her at all, but I can hear you, Jerome.
Okay. Well, we're waiting for you to give us a high sign about the about the
US of Archie.
US of Archie's.
Yeah,
so
we're having that. I definitely got to bug out because I can't even call that up.
All right, we'll keep talking. We know what we're doing.
Yeah,
And there he goes. Okay, so
Yeah, so the show was like, so everybody liked it so much about the American history. They did like American history songs, and they did different kind of episodes. Do you remember an episode in particular that you?
No, because I don't remember this thing. I
Now
gotta be
I can't
honest.
hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me? No.
Rose, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can't hear Jerome.
All right, hold
Oh,
on.
and I can hear and see you now, so that's funny as all get out.
And I can't hear
Hey,
Jerome.
and here's one thing, staying on topic here, one thing about the Archies that really, really bugged the living daylights out of me is how some freckle-faced ginger could actually get 2 chicks. How, can someone explain that to me, please?
Oh,
Hold on. Jerome's coming. Okay, Jerome, you can explain that to me now,
yeah,
right?
but I can't. Not on a family show. I really can't.
Oh my God.
Let me tell you, I do have, even though I did not marry a redhead, I am very attracted to redheads.
See, look at this. Look at this.
Rose,
Red hair.
Me too.
Red hair.
Well, not you, okay? Red-headed women. We need to preface this.
Well, my daughter's a redhead.
Well, okay. You want to play this clip, Rose?
Yes, let's go ahead and play that US of Archie clip.
I'm pretty sure it'll work now.
Okay, this should be Friendship Train.
How do I know that?
Because we talked about it during the American History Show.
Yeah, we got the July.
Hey, and he's skinny too, okay? I'm sorry. He's skinny as all get out. He's got 2 hot chicks. One's a blonde, one's a brunette.
One's rich too. The brunette's
Explain it
rich.
to me, Mrs. Rose. Yeah, okay. All right, I got it.
But you know,
yeah, that was the opening for US of Archie, and because of the history episodes that they did, there's still a channel that still plays these today, and I don't know what channel that is, but everybody really liked this show. You know, there's not very few shows, you know, except for maybe Schoolhouse Rock that actually had tried to teach something. And it, you know, and in history, I think that they should bring the show back because, you know, history is being lost in America anyway. So
Yeah.
I think they need to have more shows about history.
Well, we need
and
to bring,
you know, maybe in a cartoon format would be a good thing.
yeah, well, we need to have cartoons back first of all.
I agree.
You know,
But
so,
That's true. You know, everything's so crass. So, you know,
what was interesting about US of Archie from what the research I've done is that, you know, like you said, it started in '74 as sort of the sort of the ramp up to the bicentennial, because I remember people
Right.
were getting all that. But also at about the same time, Schoolhouse Rock was out, and people were loving Schoolhouse Rock. So I gotta wonder if Schoolhouse Rock had some influence on that show.
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if, because this was on CBS, and I believe Schoolhouse Rock was on ABC. So
Yes,
maybe
it
that
was.
was like their counter to.
Yeah.
So that's a really interesting thought, Jerome.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to know that.
Well,
What
just
else,
remember.
lady? Down to the last 3
Okay.
or 2, something like that.
So see if we can make it.
Okay. Now that we're all back, by the way, the guy who plays Archie on Raw is not a true ginger. He dyes his hair for the show. He's got brown hair.
Horrors.
Still no. Yes. So he's not really, you know, he's not really the real deal. And I don't know why they didn't hire a true ginger but probably because they're not doing hair, because he's got these abs, and like on every episode, yeah, like this. he has abs, so they make sure he has a shirt off at least like one time an episode.
All right. Yeah.
It is the CW, so and that audience, and he has a fine looking body. I have to admit, even though he's not a true ginger. So I digress. We're gonna move on, and actually,
David says he's Australian.
He is. Yeah, he has an accent. That's true. The next one that comes up is once again they brought Sabrina back to the Archies, and they did another Archie hour, and this was like in I believe this was in 1977.
Hey, can we talk about Sabrina?
Well, we can talk about Sabrina. I mean, I had a whole bunch of Sabrina clips. And because of the length of my story, we basically cut all the Sabrina. I cut all the Sabrina stuff out because I had to come up with 9 clips. But
so we'll do a show on Sabrina next later on.
We should do a show on Sabrina because Sabrina has had a lot of incarnations, and basically starting out in the Archie comedy hour back in 1972, I believe, and then the show split off. They had Sabrina and the Groovy Ghoulies, and then Sabrina had her own show, and then later on it became the Sabrina Archie Hour, the new, and that aired on NBC as opposed to CBS.
Right.
And Sabrina is just one of those characters that has remained really popular, probably just as popular or more popular than Archie. She started out in the comics in the 1960s, and just hit it off. She's got magic. She's got, she lives with her 2 aunts. And I have not watched the new Sabrina show because I heard it's very dark.
It is, but it's very good.
Either of you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen most of the first season. My wife just finished binge watching all 3 seasons. She loved it. But I will say this, between Sabrina and Josie, okay, what do you got? You got 2 strong female leads that everybody loves, and I know our host here, he loves Josie also.
Yeah, I'm going through some technical difficulties again while you guys talk, so bear with me.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, Josie and Sabrina are both super strong female characters,
Well, I was, even though you guys couldn't see me, I was hearing you talk about Josie earlier and about her influence, why they brought her on. But she originally started out in the Archie comics also.
Yes, she did. Yep.
And in the early 1960s, she was first her comic and her appearance in Archie both came out at the same time. Yeah. And then sometimes you'd see her in the Archie comics, and then she had her own thing. And then it was originally Josie, and then the comic title changed to Josie and the Pussycats in the late 1960s.
Right.
And then that's what it's been known as. But it was originally just She's Josie was the original comic.
Because what they wanted television works better when you have a group of people versus a solo. Okay.
Yeah, and back then, as we've.
Oh, she froze up.
Froze her, yeah.
Okay, there you go. Back then, what were you saying, Rose?
I was saying that back then, we had all these shows that were all music, had a music aspect.
Right. I think the interesting thing about Josie is that of what they've done with her in the Riverdale and now the sequel, which is, what is it, Kathy Kane, I think it is?
Yeah, Katie Keene, which was also an Archie comic as well.
Yep. So what do we see? We see CW and Netflix. Everybody's tapping into Archie again, but they're modernizing and darkening up the Archie world.
Yes.
I mean, it's not the happy-go-lucky world that we all used to know, or the sitcom Sabrina the Witch. It's more of a dark, grittier world.
And we failed to touch upon the 1990s Sabrina with Melissa Joan Hart, which was very popular on ABC.
Hey, listen, I didn't watch it for Sabrina. I watched it for that damn cat, Salem.
That cat was awesome. Salem was awesome.
You know?
They have a little puppet.
Yeah.
And everybody loved it. Archie to Riverdale and back again. I actually watched that movie when it originally aired, and I actually loved it. Christopher Rich did a great job on that in that show.
There was also a couple of pilots done in the 70s.
That was the pilot. Riverdale and back again was a pilot that failed.
Okay. Yeah,
anybody
I remember
know about this live action show in the 90s? I don't recall.
Sabrina.
No, read that on the bottom there.
Well, I mean, I think he might be talking about Riverdale and Back Again, which
Yes.
Okay.
is the one that I saw. I saw that when it came
Right,
out
but they
originally.
aired that again. All right, so what I'm reading here is says Riverdale.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear
Hello?
me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can't see you.
Okay.
Yeah, you froze up. It's on your end, Rose.
All right. So Riverdale and Back Again was done in 1970s, but in 1990 NBC aired it again. Okay. So apparently they ran it twice, but it took them 20 years to do a rerun. Okay. So that's what it looked like from what I'm seeing.
All right. And Rose, can you
Hello?
hear? Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right, guys. Just to give you guys an update, I'm really gonna write a scathing letter to Be Live after this show, because they really are taking me through the ringer. Just try to do things that we've normally done each and every week. So please, my apologies. I'm actually trying to get up clips, and they are not accepting that. So I may have to bop out and bop back in again, which I haven't needed to do this well. So keep talking and wait until I come back, okay, for a clip, okay?
Okay.
All right, sounds good.
So yeah, I mean the Archies. I mean I love the Archies. The problem is their schedule. They always seem to be up against something that was much more interesting. To be honest, you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can totally understand that. You have in the 80s and 90s, you've got all these action shows, and who wants to watch about 30-something version of Archie,
Well, it was
I
also
mean,
the same. It was also the same thing in the 70s with they would always be up against a Scooby or a Land of the Lost or something. I mean I have to go back
oh
and look
yeah,
and
with the
see.
cartoons. But Archie, but things considered, it had a really long run
Oh yeah.
for a cartoon.
Well, Archie in the 1960s, the Archie show was a huge hit. Okay. And it just sort of got swept. I mean, people forget about how popular that was, other than Sugar Sugar. They forget that the Archie shows themselves were big enough hits that they kept bringing them back. They would if they were total flops like some of these shows that we've talked about were, we wouldn't be, you wouldn't have seen them kept on going. You wouldn't see of Riverdale and Sabrina's and all that if they weren't popular or whatever. They've done some interesting things in the comics, but yeah, they've really gone, those shows were really popular. And I see Marcus fiddling around with the stuff. And
well, with that in mind, I think that
uh-oh.
Archie, I was bleh. Earlier this week, I posted an article about Al Pacino being a huge fan of the Archie comics when he was growing up.
Yeah.
That is the strangest thing.
And he said the reason why was because he grew up in Brooklyn,
Yep.
and I mean in the Bronx, and there was like he wasn't familiar with this kind of lifestyle that these Archies had, and it fascinated him.
Oh,
having this the high school, and and driving around and all the landscape. It was fascinating to him.
Oh yeah, because they were huge. The Archie comics were hugely popular in the in the big cities. And ironically, my father tells me that Archie comics were big in Vietnam.
Really?
Yeah, he told me that the guys would read it. I mean, they give each other crap about it all the time, but he said you could always find an Archie comic somewhere over there.
Okay, can we play this clip, guys? I have to interrupt.
Yes.
Can we play this clip?
Okay. Yep.
Okay. Thank
Sabrina
you.
Archie Hour.
All right, it's not showing up.
Yeah, stand by, guys.
I can hear it, but can't see it.
Okay, Kartoon Krew, if you saw that, let me know.
It did not show up in my watch party.
Yeah, I'm really furious. So excuse my ire, if that's a word. But the improvements that Be Live has made is a failure.
Well, do we want to end it at this point and then?
No, we still got. I'm still. If she still had, that's Rose's
Yeah,
decision.
well, that's what I'm
to
asking
make.
Rose. What you want to
Well,
do?
no, we can just wrap things up a little bit. I'd like to go ahead and talk about these shows, even if we can't see them.
Yeah.
One of the differences with the new Archie and Sabrina Hour was a character that they introduced by the name of Carlos.
Yep.
And they made the show more around different characters. They tried to bring in more, I think, different. They wanted to have more diversity, so they brought in Carlos and they got rid of Delton Doyley, and basically they had a lot of episodes that centered around Carlos too, with the new show. I don't remember watching it. I don't remember seeing it. But it was an hour-long show, and it was only around until 1978, so it lasted like 6 months, and then it was gone. Are we still on?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
One of the interesting things, I mean, I don't know about you, Rose, but I'd read a lot of the comics, and what was interesting about what they did with a couple of the characters, for those who don't know, Archie and Reggie were sort of frenemies.
Yes.
You know, they both were after both of the girls. You know, and Reggie came from a slightly more well-off family. And they
he was sort of like the Veronica of the male Veronica.
Exactly. And it was interesting to watch how they're in the cartoons versus the comics and vice versa, how that dynamic kept changing over time. Sometimes Reggie and Archie were the best of friends, and sometimes they were the biggest arch rivals to each other.
Yeah, yeah. I think that was really well played out, and they didn't really do that in Riverdale at all. They didn't really explore that, which I was kind of disappointed in. They did have a Reggie. They have a Reggie character, but he's like kind of more of a background.
Yeah, because I always thought that was an interesting dynamic that they could have played up. I mean, Jughead's the dopey best friend type of character, you know.
Okay, hey guys, I'm gonna try this clip again. Let me know if you hear it, please.
Okay, we'll do.
This is your other one.
So what's the gift to do? I gotta make you understand that love is living inside of me. I can feel it. Just take me by the hand, my friend. I give you the best of me. Really, Archie's in a brand new show. Gonna take you through a high and low. How it goes. So let me be your best friend. I'll always lend you a helping hand. Give me that love I know.
Okay, you want to talk about this one?
Yes, this is the new Archies, which I did see some of it, and I really didn't like the art style. They made it more like middle school kids.
Yeah.
Kids. Yeah.
Oh my God, preteen
And you can tell it's like really 80s. It was broadcast in 1987 on NBC, and you can tell with the clothes and the style that it's really late 80s. And they really modernized it, making Pop's Chocolate Shop more like a video cafe kind of thing where they can play video games. And so I did see some of it. It wasn't my favorite, but it's there. It existed.
It was beautiful.
Okay, look, I'm going to try and run all these videos before we can't. So bear with me. This was what we couldn't play before, which was the Archie and Sabrina show, okay?
Okay.
And then I think we got one more left after that. So
yes, we do.
Oh, that was it?
Yeah, that was it.
I see. It's a longer episode. Yeah, that's 20 minutes worth. So we'll get rid of this. All right.
How can you not love Sabrina? I don't know.
Well, okay. This is what I want to get to. So let me get this out of the way real quick. Okay. It's something about Sabrina. And I don't know if it's the white hair, because I don't know anybody with white hair unless you're an albino. And she wasn't an albino, but she was pretty close to the ginger side because she had freckles and, and those kind of attributes. But it was just something unnecessarily sexy, okay, about Sabrina that I just think is wrong, okay?
It's the white hair and the hairstyle.
I'd rather see half-naked cave people in, the Mighty Mightor and stuff like that, Herculoids, than to see something I'm not supposed to get excited about, okay? All right, now, what's her name in Roger Rabbit? That was done deliberately, and I will accept that. Okay?
Jessica.
I will accept that. Absolutely. Can't touch it, but I will accept that. But Sabrina, back in that time when you were taking advantage of my youth, wrong. Okay, that's my rant for the day. Okay.
I don't think any real person could get Sabrina's hairstyle the way it's drawn in the cartoon.
What, you mean the bob?
It's a helmet, okay? It's a helmet.
She's really thick
No.
hair,
No, she's bald. She's bald.
Rose, let me explain something about how that hairstyle is done. This was before your time, okay? It was called Aquanet, okay? And it created the hole in the ozone layer. I mean, there was like hairspray everywhere on that hairstyle.
Saw that in the cabinet in my mom. I know. Sage said that Sabrina predate Bewitched. No, Bewitched came first.
Yes.
Yeah, Bewitched came first. I said Bewitched. Look at that. I'm pronouncing it the way she spelled it.
Yeah, and like I said, Rose, that hair, I mean, if you go back and you look at some of the TV shows of the 60s and early 70s, they kept it because there was hairspray. I mean, it was like cement. They would like take them out and play football with the hairstyles like that because they would, be protected, with that hairspray in there.
Okay. I got another video. I think your last video. Anything else you wanna say real quick before I play this last one? Oh wait, why don't you preface this last one? This is the Weird Mysteries.
Yeah, this is Archie's Weird Mysteries. It was actually a French English design. They came up with the show. It originally appeared in France, and then they brought it to the United States.
God, how dare they? We can do it by ourselves. Thank you very much.
So this was made in the 1990s, and it lasted 40 episodes.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. So it was pretty popular.
40.
It played on the PAX network.
Yeah.
And it's a very different kind of feel, more so like Riverdale, because Riverdale's a mystery show too, and this is weird mysteries that happen in the town of Riverdale, but in cartoon form. So why don't you go ahead and roll the clip, Mark?
Mega Ball of Horrors, with 3D sinister boss lurks behind the shiny counters. Riverdale teenagers need to buy, but now they're paying the ultimate price. The Mega Ball of Horrors. What's that sound? What is going on in the town? Who is gonna crack the case? Everything with the freckled face. Things get weird in Riverdale. What's that sound? What is going on in the town? Archie, Reggie, Veronica, Peggy, Jughead,
Were they trying to be the Scoobies?
I think they were.
Yeah, it's very Scooby-Doo feel to it, but I never saw the show, and I really kind of wished I would have, because it looks kind of interesting. It's got an interesting different twist on the Archie vibe. But that's the end of the cartoons. Those are the ones that. Those are all the Archie cartoons that were made, not including the offshoots like Sabrina and Josie, which we're gonna have to do like another show on that.
I agree.
Well, I'm going to ask all three of you a question. I'll ask you first, Jerome. All three of you, all two of you. A question from the 70s to what we've seen up to date on these Archie series. Jerome, which one do you prefer the most?
That's a tough call because I'll be honest, I didn't watch a lot of these as a kid. I mean, I caught occasional episodes, but like I was explaining to Rose when you were doing a reboot, some of these shows were up against other shows that I was much more interested in, and you'd only catch through the Archies or something when either something got preempted or, oh, I've already seen this one, let's see what else is on, you know?
Yeah.
And I can't remember, I mean, I remember Archie and the Ghoulie Goons, the Ghoulie Goos, whatever. But
Ruby
I mean,
Gooby.
yeah, and some of the other Archie shows I remember, a lot of them were in syndication. You know, they did a lot of them in syndication, so you'd get those, you know, those what I would call the laugh-in versions of Archies. You know, the 2 to 3 minute sometimes clips of the shows. You knew the characters, so
Right.
I mean, it's hard for me to say, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah. Okay, Rose. What do you? Well, let me give you. You're the host, Rose. Let me give my opinion, and you should be the last.
Okay.
I'm nostalgic. Okay. Born, bred, educated. If I've seen it for the first time, I'm gonna stick with that first inception. Probably a little bit like Transformers. I still have a little bit in my heart for when I first saw Transformers come on, all the way up into, you know, updated animated features. So classic Archie is what I remember. You know, Betty, Veronica, Jughead, Reggie. It's what is instilled in my mind. And then after that, people decided to do, you know, one-offs. It's like, well, let's change Archie, but this time let's make them all, you know, ghost detectives and things, which shows that they're trying to copy from things that have already been proven true. So I'm nostalgic. How about you, Rose?
For me, I'd have to say it's US of Archie. I was 5 years. I was 5 years old, and 4 and 5 when that show came out, and the bicentennial was huge. Seeing those episodes those put a really big impact on me. I remember those really more distinctly than the original show. So I'd have to go with US of Archie. I would have liked to see the Weird Mysteries. I'm gonna have to see if there's some episodes I can watch on YouTube.
Yeah.
But you know, I was an Archie reader, and I still buy Archie comics from time to time. They have a lot of new titles out. Archie versus Predator. They just came out with one with Archie and
What?
and the B-52s, which I want really badly. I want that comic.
I know a friend of mine wrote Archie versus the Punisher episode cartoon.
Right.
A friend of mine wrote that one.
Those fights have already been determined because that's stupid. Yeah. Oh, good God. Go ahead, Rose.
So that's it for the Archie comics. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. I mean, there's a lot of technical difficulties today, but the Archie has a big place in my heart with comics and the shows. And I'm still a big fan of Riverdale, even though it's a very strange show. But I do enjoy it a lot. I guess we'll just end it today then.
Well,
we else have anything else going on?
We got a little bit of stuff to talk about real quick. Go ahead, Jerome, before I go.
I mentioned on the show last night that we were doing on the test show is that, even though it may interfere with our show, we recommend that you go to MeTV and go and leave a comment and tell them that you want to see Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you have a special one you want on there, fine, tell them. But if you just want in general Saturday morning cartoons, tell them that you want to see Saturday morning cartoons. Have your friends tell them. Have your friends, if your friends tell them. Have your parents tell them. Tell them that, you know, they want to put the 56-year-old kid in front of the TV and babysit again.
There's a lot of content out there, and I'm not just talking about Looney Tunes, okay?
Right.
There's between Warner Brothers, Hanna-Barbera, there's a lot of content out there, and our generation, your kids, because I ain't got any, aren't seeing these unless you plug them up in front of a YouTube channel, which normally wouldn't have them all anyway. So I concur with what Jerome said. You guys try to get some Saturday morning cartoons in their brain, because there are young people that are controlling some of those boardroom meetings, and they've never heard anything as Herculoids or your Huckleberry Hound or things of that nature. So we got to remind them, hey, go check them out, go back and look at them. All right. I think, as usual, our team did a great job. Rose did a great job on this, not necessarily on the topic matter, but in terms of executing the topic matter. I think Rose did a fantastic job. It's brought back memories of Archie, okay, and the Archies, and even the song "Sugar Sugar," which is made it to a top #1. So that's fantastic. I want to make our Kartoon Krew aware that next weekend is our last show before our hiatus. We got 3 weeks off after that. So next weekend, make sure you join us. Oh my God, it's my turn, is it? It can't be
No, it's
that.
mine.
Oh,
It's
thank God.
Jerome's.
Oh my God, thank God. Yeah. Jerome, have you picked the topic yet?
No, I should have something finished up for you and ready to go tomorrow, because I got to finish up the research. My original idea didn't pan out because there wasn't enough material.
Understood. Understood. And it gets to be like that sometimes, where you got a favorite character, but can we do an entire show on one
Well,
person?
I was looking into like the dance, because we were talking dance and songs and all that. I was looking into doing stuff about either American Bandstand or Soul Train, but there's just not enough information for this
Yeah.
out there. But
Yeah.
I got another idea. I'm sort of playing with.
Okay.
But I don't know if there's enough.
Okay. So after next week's show, I'll be convention hopping a bit. So I got to fly a couple flights out, and to kind of retouch on last night's show that we did. I am not afraid at all. Okay, I've been using common sense, as you guys know, because I always push it. I've been using common sense since I was born, and exactly what Jerome is doing. Just wash your freaking hands and just be careful of what you touch. Stay away from your face if you can, but if you do, spread it with, what's wrong with me? Hand sanitizer. There's so many words out there now. You got to try to remember. Coronavirus.
Or rub your face with 120 proof alcohol.
There you go. Yeah, with your eyes open. I suggest that strongly. So, Gary, you're doing fine, man. Thanks for all picking up on all of our past shows. The YouTube
Yes,
channel
thank you,
does
Gary.
show past episodes of our show. So anyway, so we'll be jumping around for the next 3 weeks after next weekend, after Jerome's show. Technical difficulties, that was unexpected, but that's why we did a test show yesterday, and we saw nothing that they improved on, but the show was fine until we got into this morning. And we're like, oh God, man, what did they do? So anyway, sincere apologies on that. But you guys who've been with us forever are used to it. You know how this rolls. It's just like burning toast in the morning. You either stick with it or not. You can smear a lot of butter on that and put jelly over top of that.
Peanut butter works too.
Well, some people actually scrape it too, and that's I'm hungry now. That's time consuming. So
yeah.
yeah.
Carbon, the carbon's good for your digestion anyway.
Yeah, so basically my point is, even with this show, just scrape the scab off. That's all you got to do. Just scrape it off, and you'll be fine. But I can't read that. What does that say? And I think
no. That's called the notes that I'm going through.
Cool.
That we originally had some notes on ourselves and some other stuff, and now I got to figure out what all these notes mean, because I can't remember what they were.
Okay, and remember, Saturday morning cartoon suggestions is always available and open to everyone and anyone who wants to make a suggestion. Give us some idea of what it is that you like to see us do. And we will analyze it like crazy, and no cats, okay? Just remember, no cats.
Mark wants cats. Got it.
Yeah, so I'm sorry. I was fiddling there for a minute, trying to clear the screen here. So other than that, thank you guys so much. We were really, really happy that you joined us and that you put up with us every Saturday morning before you have to go out into the world and do the hard stuff. Remember, Contact between anything and your physical skin is not recommended during this course of an emergency. And don't go on cruises.
Hey, if instead of shaking hands, you can either do the Vulcan hand salute or you can do the Bob Fosse jazz hands with each other.
You know what we did at the office yesterday? We practiced this at the office, the foot bumps.
Yep, foot bumps, elbows. You got elbows. You can do elbows too. You know?
Yeah, the foot kicks were pretty cool. So thanks, Gary. I appreciate that, buddy. But nonetheless, you guys have just been absolutely fantastic. We thank you guys each and every week for joining us.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks,
you.
guys.
We'll talk to you next week, okay? Talk to you guys next week.